Hello, everybody, and welcome here to the Sports Talk Network channel. And here's specifically for the Smackdown Live, WWE Smackdown Live review for September 5th, here of 2017, the first Raw, or first Smackdown Live, of course, of this year. Actually, I want to do something right now here live on the air that I forgot to do earlier. I'm going to do my Raw or Smackdown Live Insta poll. Asking people what were your thoughts on SmackDown Live tonight? How do you think it did? Sorry, I can't do two things at once, so I have to finish this tweet. Can't believe I forget things and finally remember them once I'm live on air. Was it great? Was it good? Was it okay? Or was it terrible? And I do have it up for, at the very least, for one day. So actually, I'm going to show what my results were for the Raw Insta poll from last night's Monday Night Raw. If I can find it here quick, fast. In a hurry, nope. I go over to tweets and replies. Apologize for this weird start to the show, but I just wanted to find my Raw poll from. Oh, here it is. How did you think this Raw went? Technically, 13 minutes are left. Technically, 13 minutes are left on the Raw Insta poll. Asking how did you think Raw went last night? I said the Raw has a WWE. 14 votes. 14% said great. 43% said good. 29% said okay. 14% said terrible. So the winner for the Raw Insta poll for this week of last night's episode, September 4th edition of Monday Night Raw 2017, that'd be the year. 43% went with good. Again, 12 minutes technically left to vote on that for that to be over. Now 23 hours left. One person did vote here already for people's thoughts on SmackDown Live. And that one vote, 100% going to great and 0% good, 0 terrible, 0% okay. So 0% on all the other ones, of course. One vote, 23 hours left. It just posted and already have a vote. So that's pretty awesome in its own right. So welcome to follow me on Twitter at W_podcast right there. And welcome to vote. Technically in the Raw Insta poll that still has 14 minutes left. And the SmackDown Live Insta poll that has 23 hours left. So welcome to give your thoughts there on both shows, if you care to do so in the Insta poll. Welcome to retweet it as well if you want to let others see it and have more votes for the Insta polls we post for that I do now for Raw and SmackDown Live after the show ends. Usually I like to do it right after, or sometimes I forget. Sometimes I have other things that happen, other things going on that I don't do that. But again, at the WWE podcast, if you are on Twitter, welcome to do that, or welcome to just like this video and comment. I always appreciate that as well. Michael Andrews, SmackDown wasn't bad. They, however, forgot the main element of a wrestling show, and that was wrestling, man. Monday Night Raw last night did, a crazy thing, and they actually started off the show with a wrestling match with John Cena and Jason Jordan. Here on SmackDown Live, it seemed like that was going to be the case with Carmella and Natalya, the SmackDown champion. Natalya and Carmella missed Money in the Bank, but that kind of got interrupted when James Ellsworth was flapping his gums by Kevin Owens, and then we had Kevin Owens and McMahon, and that's how we start off SmackDown Live tonight. Not saying it was a terrible thing, just would have been nice to have a full week as in two shows, so 2 mini shows on SmackDown, start them off with an actual wrestling match. So, yeah, James scored tonight somewhat, I guess, yeah. I'll talk about that when we get there. But starting off with the beginning of SmackDown Live, the interaction between Kevin Owens and Shane O'Mac. Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon. They're all to open up the show. Kevin Owens talking about his kids and Shane McMahon getting in his face, don't talk about my kids. And then saying that his family, Kevin Owens saying to Shane McMahon that your entire family would have been better off if you didn't survive the plane crash and this and that. Kind of like the same thing that, I get it. He's a heel and saying that, but I kind of roll my eyes because I thought automatically like that of when I think it was Nikki Bella to Brie Bella in their first promo, first interaction after Nikki turned on her at SummerSlam that year, I think, when Brie was facing Stephanie McMahon. Stephanie McMahon, when she said she wish something died in the womb or something like that, or whatever that was said. But that's what it reminded me of right away. And it's like, okay, I guess you can do something like that to get over and put on dispute or whatever. But either way, I thought it was like, in a way, it made sense. Also unnecessary, whatever, too far. And then you had Shane McMahon snap, which also then made me think, as anything does, makes me think of past events. And that made me think of when Paige mentioned to Charlotte Flair of her brother, and that, I think it was a contract signing segment on Monday Night Raw, I believe, a while ago, that made Charlotte snap and attack her and went crazy in a blind rage. So those two past things I thought about right away when those two current things were happening in the same segment. Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon is going crazy and attacking him and that. So, and Charlotte and Becky were on the show. I think that, Michael, and just to answer that, I think they're holding Charlotte and Becky off for anything on SmackDown Live for a build-up with the four horsewomen of MMA to face their four horsewomen here in WWE. That's be building up to Survivor Series. So there you go. And Lapis Gamer here, cast on Suicide Watch. Yeah, it certainly was interesting to say the least. But Natalya defeated Carmella, the SmackDown Women's Champion, a champion actually getting a win on the show in a non-title match. Who would have thunk it? And that due honor going to Natalya. So good for you. SmackDown Women's Champion defeating Miss Money in the Bank, Carmella. James Ellsworth making a blunder with the Money in the Bank briefcase, still having that, at least here for the women. Carmella still having a briefcase. So whenever she does cash in, I still think it'll be a successful cash in there, because I don't see why they would have both Baron Corbin and Carmella not successfully cash in. It just seems that way. Lapis Gamer Ziggler may be leaving WWE. Yeah. If Ziggler was watching this, he might like this video because he knows that what I say and what I say right now may be the truth, that he might just want to have a break, leave WWE, whether it's for his comedy career or just want to rest or want to do other things that WWE wasn't letting him do or whatever. However, that be them. That's fine. That'd be him. But I just wonder if and how this thing went tonight and how quick it was, and seeing that WWE didn't care too much of it and let him do what he wanted to do and this and that, instead of a pipe bomb. Truly, what could have been like a CM Punk thing could still be Dolph Ziggler leaving WWE, being out the door here shortly. Which, like I said, it's time for him to go. He's kind of won his welcome with me, at least individually. This fan. Aiden English defeating Sami Zayn. Not too much to say there, honestly. Sorry. Good, I guess good for Aiden English getting the win against Sami Zayn on a streak. I know there were rumors of Sami's losing streak. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens become a tag team or something. Maybe not. I don't know. Part of me hopes not. Part of me was still on the Kevin Owens Sami Zayn match at WrestleMania or at any point in the future. But who knows? Shane McMahon is definitely suspended by Daniel Bryan on the show by orders of Vince McMahon, because you can't have Daniel Bryan himself suspending Shane McMahon, because technically, if we go by the chain of command, as I like to say a lot since I was formerly in the military here in the United States, that Shane McMahon is Daniel Bryan's boss, even though they do see each other as equal as they're running SmackDown Live there. They're, in kayfabe terms, there on the shows as commissioner and general manager. So Daniel Bryan himself, definitely suspending or giving any punishment to Shane McMahon would have just been weird, dumb, and not make sense to me. Again, that might have been just me, but I would think that would be the case. So for him to quote unquote get the phone call from Mr. McMahon, from Vince McMahon himself, and saying, as of right now or immediately, per the orders of Mr. McMahon, or per the orders of the chairman of the board and CEO of WWE, that you're definitely suspended, Shane McMahon. So that's why I think that part of it needed to be part of that, as much as maybe people thought that was kind of weird or whatever to have Vince McMahon technically tied in here just randomly. I think you kind of had to, because you can't have Daniel Bryan having especially that big of a ruling against Shane McMahon, when in the end Shane McMahon is technically Daniel Bryan's boss and superior in that, like I said, chain of command there in management on SmackDown Live. I know I'm diving into it a little too much, but again, I just, contingency in that. And as much as it is a scripted show, TV show, this and that, it still has to mirror what real life is. And on a show or on a structure like that, on SmackDown Live being, let's say, its own company, quote unquote, or, as it is brand, still got to adhere to that chain of command. If you think of that in real life, like in a company setting, in regular, in the military, you have your commander, you have an XO, which is another military officer, but one is above the other. And even unit commanders, then you have the battalion commander. So, unit leaders and this and that. So, there's always someone on top. Sammy in English, get it to Hell in a Cell pre-show, maybe. Who knows? But it's going to be interesting to see if we get the Kevin Owens Shane McMahon match. Hell in a Cell, sure it will, and it might even be a stipulation match. If Kevin Owens wins, Shane McMahon leaves WWE or something like that. I don't know. Maybe that could be how they even build it up even more so. But you want to talk about build up. They're building up next week SmackDown Live in Las Vegas like it's their own gosh darn pay-per-view event. Which makes sense in a way because it's going to be a while till they actually have their next gosh darn WWE pay-per-view for SmackDown Live brand exclusive event there. Which being Hell in a Cell, which won't be till next month. In October. So, because Raw has their pay-per-view on September 24th, and there you go. It's going to be pay-per-view for this month, so they had to do something. So next week we're going to have title matches, and Mr. McMahon will be on the show as well. Baron Corbin defeating Ty Dillinger. Good for Baron. I still think he's going to be the next United States champion, but we'll see. And then we get to Carmella and James Ellsworth, where that was a very interesting, cringeworthy moment to me. Yes, it was. Maybe. Yes, it was. With Carmella and James Ellsworth kissing there, making out. So they make out, and then they slap. And then she slaps him. So I'm like, you're the one that came onto him and kissed him, and now you're slapping him. Maybe that's just, I don't know. Maybe it's something I don't want to go too far in the rabbit hole of thinking of Carmella's sexual fetishes, but I don't know. Just sorry that my mind even went there at all. But anyways, that happened, and these others still there. I even was going to have this episode, this SmackDown Live review titled Carmella's is over, and then right as I was doing that segment happened, and the kiss and the makeup and whatever, and the slap. So I went back to Shane McMahon is suspended, as you see here as the title of this episode of the SmackDown Live review here, which obviously, as I always say, is associated with sports or with Steve's Wrestling Ramble, my podcast, which will be Thursday, as it always is, 7 p.m. Central. Tomorrow, I have my NFL podcast, Week 1 predictions, yay! And Ezekiel Elliott, I'll give my thoughts on that craziness that went down, breaking news tonight. But again, I'll talk that on my NFL show tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central, as I usually do anything, 7 p.m. Central, for at least a podcast. For the shows, obviously I have to wait till the shows are over, and they usually start at 7 p.m. Central. But beyond that, and if I can stop myself from rambling, I can continue on talking about SmackDown Live. Why not? And the main event, Shinsuke Nakamura against Randy Orton. Shinsuke getting the win. Congratulations. Will face the WWE champion, the modern day Maharaja, Jinder Mahal, at Hell in a Cell for the championship. That's going to be a good match. Looking forward to it. I do still hope that Jinder Mahal retains. I want him to hold the title to WrestleMania for as long as WWE gosh darn will allow him to do so. because I think he's done very well as WWE champion. He's defended that title well. He took the ball and ran with it as the heel champion that he be. I don't know. I know there's might be people in the live chat, might be people that might comment later that say differently, and I respect your opinion. But to me, I think Jinder Mahal as WWE champion, WWE deciding to pull that trigger, as we sometimes say, and giving him this push and having him the WWE champion, which could have been a big mistake. Could have fell flat on their face and looked like a bunch of candy-ass jabronis for doing this. But no, I think Jinder Mahal has made a good right decision, and I'm not to be wrong in tenfold and how he's done as a heel champion. Yes, winning the ways he has, but he's not boring. He's not stale. He's done what he does. I, in one way, do agree wholeheartedly, 110% with BC Amplified here on YouTube. And if you are, I want to say this clearly, if you are a subscriber to BC Amplified, let him know in any of his videos, or his video here probably will be tomorrow morning on his channel. That's Steve over at Steve's Wrestling Ramble agrees with him, at least on one thing, being about Jinder Mahal and him as WWE champion. And you can even bring him back to this video where I said it here live on air. But I just feel that way, and I hope that he does hold the title for a while. Will it probably be to WrestleMania? Probably not. But that's just me, I guess, as a new fan of his and a fan of his title reign, that I hope it goes to WrestleMania. Because if you think if that title reign does go to WrestleMania and him still is the WWE champion, and it wasn't just for the whole India thing and the tour and blah, 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 and all that other stuff, but they believed in him. They wrapped around his ass and made him the WWE champion out of nowhere, winning that battle royal, becoming the number one contender. And we head into Backlash, the prediction shows here at the Sports Talk Network and other channels, thinking, oh, Jinder's not going to win. They're just having this for, giving someone a chance, and Randy Orton's going to feud with somebody where, someone's actually going to win the title moving forward. But no, Jinder Mahal wins. He's the WWE champion and still is the WWE champion as of this date. And heading into Hell in a Cell, obviously. But hopefully, he'll be heading into WrestleMania, still World Wrestling Entertainment heavyweight champion of the world. But we'll see. I know, yes, the likelihood of that being low, but to me, I hope that to be the case. Others kind of wished he already dropped the title. Most in that line of thinking were hoping that to be at SummerSlam, but that wasn't happening at SummerSlam. It may happen Hell in a Cell, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania at some point. Obviously, it'll happen, but I'm hoping not till WrestleMania. Because think of it also this way: when we get to WrestleMania, he's still a champion. Whoever he drops it to, man. Even if that superstar already is, man, superstar like Shinsuke Nakamura still is definitely a resume builder, not just becoming the champion, but defeating Jinder Mahal. That's someone that's now been built up to not just be still seen as this jobber extraordinaire, but actually as the main eventer as he became, as at that time will be former WWE champion. That at least I would hope to most of the WWE universe garnering respect, but respect on his name. Am I rambling too much about Jinder Mahal? Maybe. But this is my show, so I guess I can do that. But let me see here in the live chat, people are thinking, the story about Carter, thank you for coming in. You made it just in time, I guess, talking about Jinder Mahal and WWE Championship. I'd like to hear your thoughts on the matter, if you like him as champion or not. I was gamers talking about some Joe being injured. And Jay Thomas here, thanks for stopping by, Jamie. I hope they're going to put Orton in a better position that he's in now, at least in some kind of title contention, whether it's the WWE Championship or otherwise. And I don't know if he needs to be. I can see Orton fans wanting that and otherwise, and him being Randy Orton, but we got good things going in the U.S. title picture. Even if you move him over to Raw with a superstar shakeup that's been rumored to happen here, or technically rumored to happen after SummerSlam, but obviously that time has gone past, so maybe not. But I don't know. I think him being in his position, putting over young talent as he should, kind of like a Chris Jericho. Then again, Chris Jericho still being that also was a U.S. champion himself. So Obviously, two sides to every story, but just point being is I don't know if he needs to be, but I'm not saying I would dislike if that were to be the case. Yeah, I'm usually alone here for the Raw and SmackDown reviews. Like I said last night, my team members are now in school, so I'm sure they're have early bedtimes or just, stuff going on already. I don't know, maybe they already have a report or essays to do. But I don't think he's going wrong, but he's maybe just taking time to be with his family. Either way, it's only going to be interesting. No, Shane is indefinitely suspended by Vince McMahon, and Mr. McMahon will be on SmackDown Live next week in the big, super show of SmackDown there in Las Vegas, home of the soon-to-be Las Vegas Raiders in the NFL. So, yeah. Yeah, Owens, McMahon, Shane McMahon, and Hell in a Cell, yeah, probably will happen. It probably will have a stipulation on it. If Shane McMahon loses, he leaves WWE or something like that, or whatever, for another video. Kevin Owens getting over or whatever. But I don't know what would be on the line for Kevin Owens. If Kevin Owens loses, he would have to leave SmackDown Live or something. Like, there has to be something for both sides, right? If Shane McMahon loses, leaves WWE. If Kevin Owens loses, leaves SmackDown Live. I think that probably will be the stipulation and the bet in that way for the match over there. But that's pretty much it for SmackDown Live in my review. Let me check here on the poll. Again, if you are on Twitter, follow me. That'll be the first thing at WWE_podcast. And have your voice be heard in the voting. It is anonymous, so you don't have to share what you voted for. But with 23 hours left and only 3 votes right now, as it is still brand spanking new, your thoughts on SmackDown Live: 67% say great, 33% say good, 0% okay, and 0% for terrible. So far, great and good for SmackDown Live. Now, the Dolph Ziggler thing was certainly interesting. Like I said, I think he's going to go on, but I don't know. We'll see. But also, what I hope to see is more people here joining on live. So if those that are part of the live chat each and every week for Raws and SmackDowns and for my other videos, welcome to let people know about this channel. Obviously, the more the merrier in the live chat, more the merrier on the channel. Slowly trying to get to 200 subscribers. When I do, I want to make this known right now. And I'll say it again on my other podcast episodes tomorrow and then Thursday night. When I get to 200 subscribers, I will be doing a Q&A video, my first ever Q&A video for the channel and getting people's questions. Technically, if you have a question already, you're welcome to leave that in the comment section below. If you leave it in the chat, I know I'll forget about it, but leave it in the comment section below after the video is processed on the channel. And I can start taking questions and putting them in a notebook and having it ready for when I do get to 200 subscribers and I already have a batch of questions there. And then I'll have it in its own separate video, yada, yada, and we'll go from there. But I just want to let people know ahead of time of that. So, yeah. Anyways, I hope everybody has a great rest of your evening. I want to also say my thoughts and prayers go out to everybody in Texas and that were affected by Hurricane Harvey. Also, those in the path of Hurricane Irma in Florida and on the coast there. Stay safe. Be smart. Be prepared. Again, my thoughts and prayers are with you and your communities, your families there as well. But like I said, yeah, cool. But like I said, I thank everybody that are here live and archived. Otherwise, and as always, take care.